Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning dear students. Today we are going to discuss about acids, bases and salts from chapter 2, class 10 CBSE syllabus. Children, now let us discuss about bases. If we talk about bases according to Arrhenius, there are those that when dissolved in water gives hydrochloric ion. Calcium hydrochloric ion and magnesium hydroxide are the examples of bases. Bases turn red litmus paper blue while the blue litmus paper stays blue. They taste bitter and also feel soapy. Some of the other common examples of the bases including sodium bicarbonate that is used in cooking and household bleach. Children, let us discuss in detail what are bases. Bases are chemical compounds that react chemically with acids. They produce salt and hydroxide ions in water. For example, potassium hydroxide, caustic potash or KOH, calcium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, etc. Children, now let us discuss the physical properties of bases. Bases have specific physical properties and they can easily be distinguished by their physical characters. Some physical properties of the bases are: bases already we discussed that has a bitter taste, they are soapy to touch, base can change red litmus to blue, aqueous solution of base conducts electricity. Bases are compounds that yield hydroxide ion when it is dissolved in water. Bases are bitter in taste and are corrosive in nature. They usually feel slippery and very soapy. Bases are good conductors of electricity and usually show a pH value of more than 7. Bases react with oils and grease to form molecules of soap. Bases convert red litmus paper to blue litmus papers. Bases also have the tendency of corrode the surface of metals. Children, let us discuss the strength of bases and strong of bases. They completely dissociates in water to give hydroxide ions. These bases totally dissociates and leave no dissociated molecule of base. They are the bases which are completely ionized in water to produce hydroxide ions. Example, all hydroxides of all reactive metals. Weak bases. They do not completely dissociates in water to give hydroxide ion. Already we discussed that these are the bases which are partially ionized and the equilibrium lies mostly towards the reactant side. Example, calcium hydroxide. Chemical properties of base. Bases have various chemical properties. Few of the chemical properties of bases are as follows. Reaction of base with metals. When alkali base reacts with metal, salt and hydrogen gas is produced. Example, when sodium hydroxide reacts with aluminum metal, sodium aluminate and hydrogen gas are generated. Reaction of non-metallic acids with base. Salt and water are formed when non-metallic oxides react with a base. Example, when calcium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide, calcium carbonate is formed along with water. Action of alkalis base with ammonium salts. Ammonia is produced when alkalis react with ammonium salts. Example, when calcium hydroxide reacts with sodium chloride, calcium chloride, water and ammonia are produced. Children, now let us discuss the types of bases. Acidity, concentration and a degree of ionization are the three variables that can be used to classify bases. Based on the acidity, the number of hydroxyl ions presence determines acidity in bases. Based on the acidity, bases are classified into three categories that are monoacidic, diacidic and triacidic. Let us discuss about monoacidic. Monoacidic bases are those that contain only one hydroxyl ion and react with only one hydrogen ion. Monoacidic bases include NaOH, KOH, and others. Diacidic. Diacidic base is a base with two hydroxyl ions that reacts with two hydrogen ions and CaHO2 and MgHO2 and other diacidic bases are examples. Triacidic acid. Triacidic base is a type of base that comprises three hydroxyl ions and three hydrogen ions. Based on their concentration, aqueous solution bases are divided into two categories. One is concentrated bases, second one is diluted bases. Now let us discuss about concentrated bases. The concentration of a base in this type of bases is higher in the solution. For example, concentrated NaOH solution. Diluted. This type of bases have a lower concentration of base in their aqueous solution. For example, instant dilute NaOH2, dilute KOH, and so on. Children, let us discuss based on the degrees of ionization. The degree of ionization of bases in a solution can be used to classify them. It's also known as foundation of strength. When dissolved in water, it produces a certain quantity of hydroxyl ions. The degree of ionization distinguishes two types of bases. One is strong base, second one is weak base. The strong base is one that associates entirely or to a large extent in water. For example, NaOH, KOH, and strong bases. Weak bases. A weak base is one that does not dissolve entirely or only dissociates to a very little level. For example, NH4OH and other are the weak bases. Children, let us discuss the uses of bases. Bases have various uses. From the important uses of the bases are calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is used to neutralize acidity in the soil. Calcium hydroxide is a vital ingredient in mortar and whitewash. It is an essential component of the Boradex mixture, which is used to protect agricultural crops from pests. Hydrochloric acid is also used to prepare dyes mixes for painting. Bleaching powder is also made from CaOH2, commonly known as calcium hydroxide or slaked lime. Sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is used in the production of detergent, textiles, and paper. Sodium hydroxide is used in households for unblocking drains. Sodium hydroxide is used in the making of paper and soap. Sodium hydroxide is also utilized in the production of rayon. Ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide is used as a reagent in laboratories. Ammonium hydroxide is also used to manufacture plastics, dye, rayon, etc. In laboratories, ammonium hydroxide is a critical reagent. Slaked lime can be used to utilize any excess acidity in soil. Magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is popularly known as milk of magnesia, is a laxative extensively used. It is also used as an antacid since it decreases excess acidity in the human stomach. Children, let us discuss about alkali. Bases are easily dissolved in water are called alkali. In other words, water soluble bases are also called alkali. Children, let us discuss the difference between alkali and bases. Alkali. Water soluble bases are called alkali bases that they do not dissolve in water. Next come to all alkalis are bases and all bases are not alkali. Then come to the alkali. Alkali releases OH ions on dissolving in water. They are also proton acceptors. Come to the base. Bases are neutralize the acidity in an acidic base neutralization reaction. Examples of alkali are potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. Examples of bases are zinc hydroxide and copper hydroxide. Children, now let us discuss the addition of acids or bases to water. The process of dissolving an acid or a base in a water is highly exothermic. As this reaction usually generates a lot of heat, so there must be exclusive care taken while mixing the concentrated acids with water, especially when nitric acid or sulfuric acid is mixed with the water. Rules: the acid must be added slowly to the water with continuous and constant stirring. Otherwise, it can be cause the mixture of flush out, which in turn causes burns. Children, the glass container may also break due to excessive heating, which can cause damage. When an acid or a base is mixed with water, it results in dilution. It decreases the concentration of ions per unit volume, thereby easily dissipating the effect of heat. Children, let us discuss about ionization and dissociation. Dissociation is the separation of ions from an ionic crystal when a solid ionic compound dissolves in water. On the other hand, ionization is the process where a neutral molecule breaks into charged ions when dissolved in a solution. The extent of ionization depends on the strength of the bonds between ions and the extent of solvation of ions. Thank you.